info when you picked it up.
Oh,
Once those nanoparticles were activated with the EAS test yesterday, that's probably what happened. But here's the scary thing, is I bought them on Sunday, which means those are retroactive nanoparticles, which...
It's like your retroactive FanDuel bet.
It's just like that. That's right. 60th anniversary next month of the Kennedy assassination. Alan, do you guys ever talk about the conspiracy theory? It's funny that you mentioned that, because I said, we were talking about conspiracy theories the other day, and I said I think you could probably make a pretty good case for every person. You could convince everyone of at least one conspiracy theory, and I think mine might be the Kennedy assassination. It wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald, or that it wasn't... well, it was. I think one of, like, the last surviving Secret Service guys from the Kennedy administration or something, I think he was in the news last week for saying that there was something hinky with that whole thing. But for a long time, that was the preeminent conspiracy theory in the United States. It was the Kennedy assassination. And then the moon landing was in there too, but we're so awash in absurd conspiracy theories, like the EAS test is so that they can activate the nanoparticles in the vaccine, all that crap, right?
A lot of people think Paul McCartney's dead.
Well, that's from years ago too, right? The reports of Paul McCartney's death were greatly exaggerated. My wife still believes that Bob Barker died 5 years ago, even though he died a few weeks back. She is convinced that he's been dead for a while. I said he looked dead for a while, but he just died at 99. She got Poundcake's hackles up. Is Poundcake using a Fire Stick? That might be a better fix for what you're doing rather than buying a new TV. But again, you can get a nice TV for a couple $100. 32-inch TVs is not what people are going for these days. They're going for giant televisions. My brother, when we went home for Thanksgiving, my brother's television is like so goddamn big. Like the people on it are life-sized people. It's like you're standing there watching television. You feel weird sitting down to watch television. It's so large. I walk in the room and have to, it doesn't even occur to me to sit down to watch TV. If the TV's on, I stand there in front of it.
I feel like that would hurt my eyes.
I don't know.
He's not directly on top of it. He's not standing with his nose touching the TV.
You don't know how I watch TV, Mary.
I was just assuming.
Yeah. No, it's like a 95-inch TV or something. I mean, it's a massive television. I'm like, well, I don't need that. Don't need that.
Get it for me.
You want a 95-inch television?
If you're
only if you donate it to the Muffin Orphans.
Sure. Consider it done. Buy it for me right now. Ship it to my apartment. I'll make
you know what you should do, Cody, is you should, I don't know if you heard, if you were still on the phone when I was talking about the Fire Stick. Are you using a Fire Stick?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you would know.
You would know.
Okay, then no.
It's an Amazon Fire Stick. That might be, if you don't want to buy a new TV, that might be a good way to get.
You plug it into the back of your TV?
Yeah, into the USB, like all the stuff you want or whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't have
I mean, a lot of
HDMI
pirated,
port.
but yeah.
Yeah, but again, you can get a pretty good television for, go out on Black Friday or something.
Well, not even
I mean,
that
they're
anymore,
doing Black Friday
man.
stuff in July now. They don't even wait for Thanksgiving.
There's a Prime Day next week. I'm sure they'll have TVs on sale.
There you go.
Yeah, the 10th and 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here's the thing, too, though. Like, during the pandemic, I bought my 70-inch TV, and it was only like $500. And I'm not saying you have to get one that big, but they're
good for you.
They're probably even cheaper now.
Must be nice.
Okay.
Must be nice.
Don't come at me like that.
I was going to
It's
say,
chorizo chili.
You what? What?
Nothing.
Are you making fun of chorizo in my chili?
I'm just saying that
I like chili con carne.
you're excessive.
Then use beef.
I
Like
use
an
beef.
American.
I use beef and chorizo, Bill.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry, what, Cody?
I said I don't even have a TV in my living room because I don't have any people over. So I just need the TV for my bedroom. So maybe if I get another one, then I'll just put that one out there and just not really care.
Why not put... Yeah, that might be nice because then you could...
It's
You,
kind of
you got that couch you put together that you dragged upstairs. You might as well use it.
That is mainly for not even like people just to sit. It's just so it doesn't look so empty. I don't know why I got a couch. I felt like I had to get one, and it was only like $300 or I think it was like 200 or
Yeah,
something.
you can get a TV for the same price.
Ah.
Get a-
Drag it up the stairs. Just
Get a
the same way.
Roku. Just buy a Roku. Those are like $60 now. Get a Roku.
I like a Roku.
Run everything through it.
My mom
There's
has,
Rokus on all the TVs here. Just take one of them off the back.
Yeah, just pull it out.
Nobody's
Doesn't
using
matter.
it.
Doesn't matter.
mom calls it a Roku. She say
A
"You-
Roku?
You get a Roku? I said it's a Roku, Mom. She said, yeah, Roku. I'm like, okay.
It's 4 letters.
I know. She just get it wrong.
Hey, hosers. Yeah, but at least she knows what it is. You can get a Roku Express for $29. I mean, our Rokus are like the stream or the sound bar that's got the streamer in it.
There you go.
But you can get like a base model one for $30. They're pretty
Get-
sweet.
Just go throwback. Go to a Goodwill. Get a tube TV that weighs 300
And
pounds.
rabbit
Built-in
ears.
VHS.
With a built-in VHS, and then or like a console TV where it's like the big wood box.
My grandma had one of those
Yeah.
with the knobs.
We had one of those. Well, I got one from the lady that taught me piano. Actually, she was having a garage sale, and I was like, "Can I buy this TV?" It was like $25,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yeah." Well, I was like, "I guess." And so I lugged this thing up into my bedroom by myself. It weighed like 100 pounds, but I just I don't know how I got it up there, but I did. And that was my TV in my bedroom that did not really work that well. But
It just turned into a piece of furniture.
it was cool to have a TV in the bedroom that because I'd watch football games in there because I didn't have like cable or anything. It was just like rabbit ears. It's like, yeah, TV in the bedroom.
See, now everybody's giving me a hard time for Bill's philanthropy. I'm sorry. People are pointing out to me, I didn't know you were doing stuff for Carbs for Kids. I certainly don't want to give them a hard time.
KARBS for kids.
Right.
1877
Carbs with a
for
K.
kids.
That's right. Alan, you can get an Amazon Fire Stick today for only $20. There you go. Well, anyway,
You'll probably find one on Facebook.
yeah, it still
for
comes
the
down to
Facebook Marketplace for $6, and it's only got a little bit of spit on it.
Why would there be spit on it?
Because there's
Because I
spit
can't
on
say the other
everything.
word.
Oh.
Because there's shrimp on everything these days. Wouldn't be good for your shellfish allergy.
I just mentioned my shellfish allergy.
Oh, you did?
Always talking about yourself.
Uh-huh.
Not to you guys.
For once?
Okay.
Who did you mention it to?
Don't make me fist fight you today.
Who did
That'd be
you?
fun. Fist fight, Alan.
Maybe Alan fist fight.
Did you say don't make me fist you today?
Yep.
Fist fight.
Fist fight.
Oh, well, that's less fun.
Whichever one you want, brother. I got a ring on today. I'll
You
put it
know which
right up
one I-
there.
That's right. Get that diamond that Bill was talking about.
No, it doesn't matter. Nothing's important.
No, come on. It's all important to us.
It's not.
This is where we can have a free. This is where we can have a free exchange of ideas. How would one brag about a shellfish allergy?
Because
there's so much stuff you can't eat.
I got a really tight throat.
Never heard of that. Just give me one piece of shrimp.
Give me a
and-
little bit of shrimp, and I'll blow your mind.
No, God, please, no. How did you brag about it?
No, I'm saying explaining it'll sound braggy. I'm opening for Theo Von tonight at the Masonic, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna get this nice dinner catered in. It's like from a really fancy steak place." And I was like, "Oh," and they gave the options. I said, "That's great. I appreciate it. This is unbelievable. Just none of the shrimp or crab cakes for me."
Could I have surf and turf hold the surf?
Yes, I'll take the turf.
So
Surf and
what'd you opt for?
Steak.
A Caesar salad. Oh,
A
steak.
steak. And I said, any vegetable as a side is good. Just keep the shellfish in a separate area.
Will,
Are they
will
making
you
it
have
at
to
the
eat in
venue?
another room?
No, I wouldn't have to eat it in another room, but like just don't put it in my to-go box.
Yeah.
Make sure that my stuff is separate if that's what the other people are ordering.
That's one of those
kind
things that's always
It's nervous. It's nerve-wracking.
right. Well, but it's also like difficult to like if you get a steak, how's it going to travel from the time it gets to the restaurant to you?
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's a free steak.
I mean,
so,
it's fine. Yeah, I'm not
but,
upset about it at all.
But you know, it's one of those things where it's like just send the guy here, set up a hot plate,
Give him
and
a
have him make it to
hibachi
order.
bar.
Yeah, exactly.
A George Foreman grill.
Come on.
You know the old saying, there's no such thing as a free steak.
Nobody's ever said that.
Hmm.
I think you're thinking
Yeah,
of
free muffins. That's what you're thinking of. There's no such thing as a free muffin.
Free, except there are if you're Carbs for Kids. Bill Squire is going to make them to you. Now, I'm sorry, you are not an orphan. You can't have one of my muffins.
I'm a half orphan. You are too.
A half orphan? Well, yes, both of our dads are dead.
So that makes us half. Do we get half? You probably only want half a muffin anyway.
Oh, it works out perfectly for me.
See?
You know what I'd like more? My dad back.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Well,
What are you going to do?
Hey, gang.
Your dad's not doing it for you?
The emergency broadcast test yesterday, and there's just one thing I wanted to pass on to the listeners. Longing, Rusted, 17, Daybreak, Furnace, 9, Benign, Homecoming, 1, Freight Car. Gene from Parma.
all right. Wow. I didn't know I was going to be complicit in Gene from Parma awakening a sleeper cell in this country now. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh. You see the girl on TikTok talking about whether or not you grew up in a birthday family?
What does that even mean?
She goes, you are either from a birthday family or a non-birthday family.
You either come from a birthday family or you don't. And what I mean by birthday family is like a family that from the moment you wake up in the morning on your birthday until the moment you go to sleep, the entire day is about you. It's about celebrating you. It's about going crazy celebrating you, like celebrating you to the highest extent possible. And if you're not a birthday family, that kind of looks like you wake up and people say, hey, happy birthday. They give you some gifts and it's just kind of like a regular day, except people said happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I did not grow up in a birthday family.
I feel like that's some
Non-birthday
rich
family.
people stuff.
Yeah.
Is it really rich? But no, I knew kids that like it was a big deal when it was their birthday and they weren't rich.
We are a non-birthday family.
Ours were not. Well, we also had 5 kids, so it's
Yeah,
like you
we had
can't
5 kids.
have a
There was
whole day.
always a birthday.
Yeah, this
There's
is too
always
much.
a birthday, and there's also like, there's just too much going on. And especially like you'd get your party. Like we do parties from time to
We didn't
you
get
know.
parties.
I
But it
never
wasn't-
had a birthday
Neither
party.
did I.
Not once.
But it was always like you can have some friends over. We'll do a cake.
Yeah.
We had family parties.
Yeah.
My mom would cook. I'd get a cake. It wasn't like it wasn't acknowledged.
party.
Yeah, it was. Well, I wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese with my friends. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Wasn't that-
We-
it was-
Well,
we were at my
See,
grandma's.
my
and it was a-
younger siblings got that. Like my youngest brother, by the time he was growing up, my dad was doing pretty well, so he got all that stuff. Us
Sure.
older kids, I remember my mom would make us these Batman and Superman cakes with a mold.
Yeah.
And then like, she did a good job with them. I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest. She did a good job
like
with
the
them.
eyes are dripping.
No, they actually looked really good. Well, the trick was they had a face that you put on it, so they knew nobody can do the face.
Right, yeah.
So they had like a little plastic face you put on there. But she did a very good job with those Superman and Batman cakes. Here's the thing: there's actually just one cake mold,
What?
Oh my gosh.
but then there was plastic pieces for Superman.
Oh, I was going to
or
say,
Batman.
those aren't the same shape. You'd have to put the bat ears and the wings on.
Now, not having a birthday party with friends or sleepovers. We grew up in a hoarder house, okay? But my birthday is around Thanksgiving. My birthday is November 25th. So for as long
got
as I can
overshadowed,
remember, no.
Oh.
Thanksgiving has been about my birthday.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Everybody was giving thanks for Mary.
well, I mean, and I very much so made it that way, where I was like, let's call this holiday what it is, which is Mary Santora's birthday. This is not Thanksgiving, please.
Mayor's
Right.
given.
Mayor's giving. But so we
It's
would
like
do,
growing up in an immigrant family, except your parents aren't immigrants. It's all family parties.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming over. It's like a cake. And, you know, my mom would make my favorite dinner and that kind of crap.
Well,
And
we would do regular Thanksgiving dinner, but then at the end, when it was time for dessert, there was also cake, ice cream, and presents.
So where
like
would you
the
guys
best day
do
ever.
Thanksgiving?
Well, this wasn't until we moved in with my dad.
Okay. So, but those years prior when
We
it was,
went to like homeless shelters and stuff.
did you really?
Yeah, we did. There was one restaurant, I don't even remember where it was. It was like a little diner that did a free Thanksgiving dinner every year. And we went there a couple years in a row
When you were living with your dad.
with my
No,
mom.
with the mom.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this is
Before
the
they got
post-
divorced, how would
no,
that happen?
Post-divorce.
Yeah.
We didn't. I feel like we would probably go to my grandma's. My grandma died my freshman year. You got to remember, man, I got a lot of blacked out memories from
I
that
know.
time in
I'm
my life.
trying to.
But like the
I'm
thing,
trying to unblack them. I know people don't like when you talk about yourself. Your life is incredibly fascinating to me,
Well,
so I want to Let's unravel this yarn.
We're trying to
Happens to
extract little nuggets of
Not
information.
trying to make you cry, but
No, I'm not going to cry.
It's
There's just not a lot that I remember from like early days of childhood. There's not a lot of celebrations and stuff that I remember. I know we would go to my grandma's house a lot. So if I had to guess, that would be where
That'd
we
probably
went.
where we go.
And then there was the rough years in the middle after my parents split up. Before
When you were still living with your mom.
Yeah, still living with my mom before I moved in with my dad.
And that's the main hoarder years.
That's when stuff got bad at home, like real bad. Yeah. And that was the years when we were like, she would say she was teaching us a lesson to show that people had it worse than we did. So we would go to like homeless shelters or free dinners or ride the bus. I don't know.
You're like,
And
Mom,
then-
why are we doing all the stuff that the people who have it worse than us are doing?
Right. Well, I mean,
Regularly.
just to show us, so it could be worse, you know. At least you have a home. And then,
Well, that's not a bad lesson to be learned,
it's not a great one.
but it's not a bad one either. I get what you're saying.
It's
Under those-
unnecessary.
There are other ways to teach that lesson.
Yeah.
Well, it's also her masking, this is all I can give you.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
thing is that it's like, you know, I have a
dishonest.
lot more empathy for my mom now than I did then. That I realized she had a lot going on. She
Yeah, because you're
had
a grown-ass woman now.
Yeah, she had a lot of mental stuff happening, you know, like her life fell apart and she did what she could. I totally get that now. But then when we moved in with my dad is when Thanksgiving more or less became about me, where it was like, hey, this is, you know, we're going to have all this great food and then we're going
And
to
that
do
was
cake and ice
around
cream.
14, 15 years old?
Sophomore year, so
Yeah,
16.
16, okay.
Yeah. And then Christmases, my dad always came over our place for Christmas and would like bring a big, like Santa, he would bring like a garbage bag full of gifts and still come back to our mom's house and everything like that until we moved in with him. But yeah.
My mom's one brother who
Did your mom save the wrapping paper?
Yes, of course she
folded
did.
it all
Out
up.
of your mind, she
I
still
know.
does.
I
Come
know.
on. What are you even asking?
That's not even a poor people's thing. That's a lot of people do that.
Oh my God. I was cleaning the house one day and Brian was gone. We must have been off air or something, but it was a day he was at work and I wasn't. And I was cleaning, like reorganizing a closet, and I pulled down this giant birthday bag and inside was just other bags and tissue paper. And I was like, hey, you got to warn me about stuff like this, because I understand it's like a lot of people do this, but this is so triggering to find. And I'm like,
We have 2 full plastic tubs in our basement that I labeled bags and tags.
Yes.
And that's all that's in them.
but that's what he said. He's
Like, are we ever going to use one of these ever?
Well, since the 2 years I've been living with him, I have never bought a bag or wrapping paper
Right.
or tissue paper or anything because we just save them and reuse them.
It's a scam.
Smart.
Yeah.
No, that's smart to do.
But I
Yeah.
was like, you gotta let me know, man, because
You gotta
but
let
then-
a hoarder baby know.
Well, and that's what's funny is that I'm like, maybe some of the things my mom was doing was regular, but I saw it in a way of this is some hoarder
Well,
crap.
with all the stuff around it,
Right.
It gets real murky.
Lumped in.
So
It's real hard to be like, oh, she saves wrapping paper and gift bags, but also every newspaper that's ever been.
Sure.
It's hard to
That's-
separate
yeah.
the frugality from the psychosis.
Well, correct. And then there would be times where we would do like crafts and stuff with things we had around the house. And then years later, I would see that same thing on Pinterest where it was like make a bird feeder, have a tissue box or something. And I'm like, okay, is this hoarder stuff or is this craft mom stuff? Because I don't know what's
it's a
what
thin
here.
line.
Yeah, for real though.
It's really just organization.
Honestly, so like it's square footage is what it is.
If you have it organized, that's
You're
one
a
thing.
craft mom.
Now, dirt floor bathroom, that's a different
That's
story.
different.
Yeah,
That's different.
that is not on Pinterest.
Are you
yet.
sure?
Yet.
It might be some hobo chic thing
Yeah,
that's going to come back.
Oh, boo. She didn't spread out the saved
how
wrapping
chic.
paper on the floor of the bathroom. Floor's so jaunty in there. Okay, let me take a break here. I'll have another $1,000 for you. That next keyword is showing up around 3:30. After the break, if you want to go see comedian John Oliver, he has pushed his stand-up show in Akron into January, but I'll have another pair of tickets for you coming back.